Morning. All right. Ben, team's returning here to Shell Energy Stadium on Saturday. What have you seen from the team as in terms of preparation for Saturday's match against Miami?
Well, it's a different type of challenge than we faced last weekend when we played New York. And they go about the game in different ways. So mostly it's just about prepping for their good and some areas that we think we can exploit. So no different than any other week. We're excited to get back home and in front of our fans and hopefully continuing having good form at Shell Energy Stadium.
Thank you for that. We'll open it up to questions on Zoom. If you have a question for Ben, please use the raise my hand option. Rudy, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. How do you mentally prepare your players when facing an opponent like Miami? You know that they've lost their last 5 matches and are coming off a bye week, so they don't fall into a trap game.
Yeah, they've got a lot of very good individual players, and the bye week itself is always it can come at a good time and a bad time, and they've picked up some new players, and to have 2 weeks to prepare for us, and also fix some of the things that I'm sure they want to work on, and enhance some of the things that they're already very good at. So, we'll expect a very, very good team, like we do every weekend. This league there's no easy game. It's built that way. The whole system is designed to not have an easy game, and every game you can win or lose in this league. So we'll be prepared for their best shot.
Thanks, Coach.
Up next, we'll go with Joey. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Last week you mentioned being happy with Thor's performance. What are the expectations for Thor going forward, and can we expect to see him play a role from the starting games anytime soon?
I think with the forward position, it's a constant evaluation every week. I think we have three good options there. They're all different, and I thought Thor came in and did a good job last game and helped us out and understood both sides of the ball. So, but again, we have Sebas and we have Corey, and so we have different looks at that position, and they're all going to play part in this.
Thank you, Coach.
Up next, we'll go with Victor. Go ahead.
Ben, obviously a big boost this week with the return of Herrera. Obviously, after how the team played last week, how much easier does it maybe make it this game coming up, having a guy like that back?
Yeah, well, he makes us tick, right? If you watch the games and opponents, he's a big part of this. The way we build the game, having his leadership on the field, just having his presence for the guys, it's always a boost. We missed him last week, but the Red Bulls game is a different animal anyways, half the time. So we're going to lose him. Maybe the Red Bulls game is the one to not have him in, but we're pleased to have him back. He's looked sharp all week, and he's refreshed. He had some time in Mexico, and I think he's ready to get back on the field in front of our fans.
Progression of Bati, do you have anything to add on him? Would you have liked to see him? I know the game maybe didn't lend itself to it, but would you like to have seen more from him last week, considering the absence of Factor?
Who's that, Victor?
Amin Bati.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I think you have to take the game of what it is, and we talk about different types of players and when they're going to have success. And if you told me that he wasn't going to have a huge impact in that game, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised because he's not necessarily built to go toe to toe in a game like that, right? But he's still good enough to do it, and I think he put a lot of. He put a good shift in. He worked his tail off. He was more physical than he normally would be for a profile that is more of a 10 type playmaker. But it's a difficult for him and all his qualities to show in that game. So I would hope that this weekend's game he has more of an impact because of we're playing a different team that goes about the game in a different way. I don't know if that makes sense. Of course, he still helps us out on set pieces and some of the moments that were dead ball situations, but they're a very athletic team and they come at you fast and furious. And there's a lot of 50-50s and duels, and we could have the knock wasn't necessarily on him. I thought we could have at times had more composure against New York. Sometimes you get caught up in the fight of it all and the direct nature and the second balls and the duels, and you forget there's still soccer to be played out there, and that's a fine balance. This team hasn't played Red Bulls in a long time, and so I think it was to get a result was good, and it didn't. At times we could have played a little bit more soccer, which I think would have allowed him to be in a better spot and have more influence on the game.
Just one more from me. Schedule change announced yesterday. I don't know if you have any comment on that and how it maybe changes your approach for this game not having an MLS match next week.
It doesn't change our approach to this game, whether or not we have a game the following week. I mean, it would never change. What I'll say is I completely disagree with them changing this game. And I don't, I just completely disagree with it. I think and the timing of it, we put a lot of hours into prepping for them and our trip to Tampa, and there's a lot of work that goes into that. And for us to kind of find out yesterday, not ideal. But it's a little bit, it's a little bit par for the course here with Houston, and it's something we have to dig out of and continue to win some games and gain some respect.
All right, guys, I think we'll close with that one. Thanks for joining us. We'll have media resources later today.